Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. So did you guys get into Mr. Crocket on Hulu? It was a good one. I love when it's Huluween time. I really do. I love a good spook. Whew. I don't know what it is, y'all. I just really do. Anyway, so it's 19, and at first I wasn't gonna do a beat by beat, but this movie was so good that I want to just run through it and recap it. So from the top, it's 1997. There's a family about to eat dinner. Their son is glued to the TV. He's watching Mr. Crocket on TV. The father is very mean. Very borderline abusive. Well, no, we just gonna say it. He's verbally abusive, forcing the child to eat, talking about he gotta be a man. He one of them dads. And of course, the mother says and does nothing. She just sits back while her father is a meanie to their son. On the TV, Mr. Crocket, like this, listening in. He and the rest of the kids, they like, they listening in from the TV. Anyway, he hears the father verbally abusing the boy, and then suddenly he like slides down the TV. This is what it looked like. I don't want to knock stuff over, but he like slides down like that, and all you see is his eyes in the like VCR thing. You know, it opens, and all you see is his eyes in there. Then you see his hands start creeping out. He crawls out. And then he's hiding behind a door. And he comes out, and all of a sudden the father is like, his chair has turned into some kind of monster chair, and it's got him trapped at the table. Then his plate turns into like garbage. You know, it's disgusting. And he tell him, "You finish your food." Mr. Crocker said, "I'm gonna give you a chance to be an example. You finish your food." He pull out a knife, guts the man, and stuffs the food in. Oh, you don't want to eat it? I'm gonna put it in manually. I'm gonna put it in like this. I said, right away, huh? We was right away with this. The wife, she in another room, and she hears the whole thing. She heard the whole thing. Mr. Crocket, he been speaking to the kids through the TV. You know, he said he's saving these kids from abusive homes. It's like right away you see what his motive is, what he got going on. We see a woman. I wouldn't say present time, but it's some time has passed. We see a woman and her son. They're at a funeral. The son don't want to be there. You know, I'm like, was his father a bad father? Because he really don't have nothing. He ain't got nothing for him. Like, he don't even care about going. His mother, Summer, she's up giving a eulogy or whatever, and people are sort of looking at her, you know, like apathetic, like they don't care either. I don't know. At the repast, this woman comes up to her talking about she need to start whooping her son because that'll keep his mouth in check. Ma'am, please. Anyway, the lady talking to her, and she just tunes her out. Outside, there's a post there's a missing child poster tacked to the pole. And it's the little boy from 97. The boy goes outside. He out there playing football. And he's approached by that boy that's missing. He's approached by his mother. And her name is Rhonda. Rhonda going through. She tries to take him, talking about, "You gonna be safe with me. He gonna come get you. He's coming. You'll be safe with me. Let's, you know, you can come with me, and we can be friends and all of that." And she like, I mean, of course he's resistant. She tries to take him. When she tries to take him, she's trying to warn him, like, you know, not to go. Don't go with him when he comes. He's coming, but don't you go with him when he comes. Sis finally snaps out of her trance, standing there talking to that lady, you know, long enough to hear her child out there about to get kidnapped. And she run outside, and the lady tells her again, "He's coming. He's coming." And then she says, "Don't ever let him," tells her, you know, talking about the little boy, "Don't ever let him go. Don't leave him alone. And listen, if he goes, he ain't gonna come back if he does. So You might keep him close. And then she starts singing the song again, the little tune. A friend like you is a friend. I don't know if that's the melody. A friend like you is a friend like me. Her mind gone. That lady mind gone. Anyway, that night, Summer's son has a nightmare. He calling for his father. He misses his father. She reassures him, and then she gives him this whistle. He can blow the whistle, and she gonna come running any time. Soon as she leave, of course he blow it. The next day, he's really taking advantage of this whistle. Like, he's being annoying with it now. And she's trying to listen to a tape on child rearing, trying to see how she can do this gentle parenting. It's really not working because this little boy is rambunctious. Anyway, she go outside. Because outside in front of her house, there's, those little take a book, leave a book, take some canned goods, leave some canned goods, that sort of thing. That's outside. And so she goes out there and she finds a Mr. Crocket tape. She immediately puts it in for her son. The boy's name is Major. Thinking that it's going to calm him down. Of course it does. The song itself, the intro, just pulls him right on in. The show has its little, it has its little subliminal moments. It kind of puts the kids in a trance almost. There's also another little girl at the house, and she's also watching Mr. Crocket, and her daddy is a dope fiend. She wake him up to fix her TV because her TV went out. And he get all upset with her, yelling and screaming at her. I don't care. Then calmly tells her, listen, stay in your room. You're old enough to entertain yourself while you just be out in the living room, hide up. She got to stay in the room and watch Mr. Crocket. Okay. Talking about he got to go handle grown-up stuff. Yeah, he got to go do drugs. She starts singing the song, which conjures Mr. Crocket on the TV. He tapping through the screen. Then his hand pops up next. And then the next thing we see, he's sitting in Dad's recliner. He done got out the TV already. He said, I heard some raised voices and I wanted to see if everything was all right. Her daddy in there cooking up meth, crack, whatever. He talking about it's time for you to leave. It's not. Mr. Crocket ain't going nowhere. He pull out a gun and tells him, get the fuck out. Mr. Crocket say, first of all, your gun is having some issues. He goes to shoot it. A bubble comes out. It's just a bubble and not a bullet. Mr. Crocket says, this is his house now. He said, you dropped the ball on parenting. And I'm afraid that your little slip up, I'm going to have to teach you a little lesson. I'm so sorry. The man can't move, but he still got his gun drawn. Of course, now Mr. Crocket, he starts singing a song about sharing. Then puts the muzzle, turns it and puts it in the man's mouth and forces him to pull the trigger. Once he pulls the trigger, it's a bubble that gets bigger and bigger and expands until the man's head just blow his top off. Just blew his top off. Blew his muffin cap back blue. The little girl in her room, she hear Mr. Crocket and she meet him out in the living room. That missing boy, his mother, she's watching from a screen. She's like watching the entire thing go down. She sees him take another child. And then he gonna smile at her on his way back inside the TV land. Anyway, what's her name? Summer, she comes outside and she sees that her son is still watching Mr. Crocket. And so she's like, the show kind of she sees it for herself. She sees it kind of take a weird turn. And then she turns the TV off after that. She walks away. It turns back on by itself. Okay, maybe it's something. Maybe I ain't pressed it all the way. Something. She turns it off again. Walks away. It comes back on again. So that's strange. Major, he has a fit. Because, hold on. That's what I miss. I'm like, I missed something. And I knew it. Vivian, when the little boy's watching the show, there's a puppet up there, and the puppet stops and looks at her, and then goes back to doing whatever it was doing. That's what made her turn the TV off. Anyway, of course, Major don't like that. He get all upset, and picks up a picture and smashes it on the floor. And she's like, Major, enough. You've had enough, Mr. Crocket. I want Mr. Crocket. He gonna pick something else up and hold it up in the air like he gonna smash it. And she's like, you better not throw that. And you know he throw it anyway. Throw it and smashes it. And so she's upset, of course, and she yelling. She's talking about Mama has had it, and he tells her that he wants Mr. Crocket. And she says, you know what? If you don't want to be respectful, you don't want to be on my team, fine. I quit being your fucking mother. Now he got the sad face, want to cry. Go on to your room. While he crying in his room, of course, she's in there feeling guilty. She gets up to go check on him, and then the TV current turns on. And see, this is what I had confused, because this is when she does that back and forth with that TV, cutting on after she cut it off. Then it cuts back on. Then she cuts it back off. Then when she's trying to turn it off, the volume is just going up to the max. So now the remote don't work. So she just knocked the TV onto the floor. Child, the TV started rustling around like something is up underneath it. Mr. Crocket crawls through, talking about, hello there, all bloody from the glass. Then he goes into the other room, and then with his little magic pen, draws himself a door and walks through it, and he kind of disappears. She can hear her son and Mr. Crocket in there singing together. And, of course, she's trying to bust through the drywall to get to him. Through the little hole that she made, she can see her son going into TV land, entering the portal to hell with Mr. Crocket. So she's too late. He done already went. She goes to the police. Of course, they think she a junkie, so they really don't do nothing. Major, he with the other kids in Mr. Crockett's world. And he get the missing boy, he's there. The little white girl, she there. Everybody there. Now his mother, Summer, she out passing out the flyers, and she walks up on this house where the girl's father, his body was found. There's a neighbor that found him. She got her theories, whatever, but she mentions how the little girl is missing, and now that triggers Summer. She got to go figure out where the little girl is, so she takes off. She goes to a library to look into these cases and will do some research on these missing kids. All of them, all them kids that are missing are in Mr. Crockett's world. They're over there with him. She finds an article on Mr. Crocket. Children's TV host killed, in a shootout with the police. Emmanuel Crocket dead, after kidnapping attempt. So he tried to kidnap this little boy back in 1979. She starts to hear that theme song again, like from another room. So she follows the music, and then she finds a TV, and he on the TV, and he stops her and everything and addresses her. He's like, here I am, silly goose. Come a little closer and say hello. So she gets up close. She walks up to the TV, and he says, stop looking for us. Unless you want to come join us out here. unless you want me to have you out here. No, he said unless you want to join your husband in hell. So obviously he wasn't a good man. Then he reaches through the screen and yokes her up real good, grabs her up. She take off running, and she runs into this man. This man, he was also, when she went to go to the crime scene where the man's body was found, where the girl's father's body was found, there was this man just outside. All we saw was the side of his face. But this time, he approaches her. She runs right into him. And immediately, I felt like this was the little boy that Mr. Crocket tried to kidnap. Anyway, they talk, and he plays it like this. He plays it like he also has a missing child due to Mr. Crocket. He shows her this picture of his daughter who's also missing. And I was thinking, so he's not the little boy. Okay. Anyway, they talk, but all she can see or here is Mr. Crocket. You know, she see this man out and just out at the park. She think that's him. He kind of calms her nerves long enough for her to realize, you know, that she's not alone. They're both not alone. There has to be somebody else that experiences as well. And should we think about the woman at the repast? She also saw him and survived, you know, she lived to tell the story. She gives him, you know, her info so that they can team up and they're going to get their kids back. She dreams about her husband that night. You know, he's asking how the son is doing and all that. When she tells him that their son is missing, he immediately blames her. Must be how she feels, her subconscious mind. Then he like flips and changes completely and now is on some dark shit. You know, and his skin is peeling and carrying on. And then when he peels it all the way off, is Mr. Crocket up underneath. She wakes up from the nightmare. There's a knock at the door. It's the man she met, the guy she met. So he said he found the lady. So they're going to get in the car and they're going to go to try to find the home. Because she's homeless now. They're going to try to go find her at her last known location. They pull up to her tent where she been hiding out. And she jump out and hold him. I'm gonna have to put this on the charger. Hold your line. So and I'm sorry, I apologize. Now the sound's finna be a little bit off here. I'm gonna have to project because we had to charge her. We were at 10%. She was gonna die. Anyway, they pull up to the location where the lady jumps out. She got a knife out. She holds Summer at gunpoint. They want to know about Crocket. She already knows. She's been watching through her TV screens. You know, she said that she can connect with him through her mind. And they need her to try that again so that they can confront him. She shows them how she connects and everything. And she connects and so they can see what's going on. We see some memories where he's working on this set. And he on there spazzing out, cussing the people out. Then they close in on another location and then have they had Rhonda's like in a, it's almost giving she too in it. She too in it. They're trying to snap her out of it before they lose her completely. And she comes back or whatever, but she's having second thoughts about having her son back, you know, like maybe he's better off with him, you know, because look at her situation now. She asked Summer what she did to drive her boy away, and Summer, you know, she don't know. She don't share. You know what you did. They all go to the address in question to see this VCR. It's already broken. So Mr. Crocket is already there. The father is in pieces on the wall, on the ground or whatever. So Mr. Crocket has already done his deed. And I hopefully y'all can't hear all this yard work going on outside. Anyway, he's leading the girl to her eternal death. He knows that they're there, so before he goes in the portal, you know, he closes. Before he goes in the portal, he doesn't close it. He just lets the girl go in, but he walks around the house to see if he can find Rhonda and them. And Rhonda jumps out from behind him, and it gives Summer and the man gives them a way out. Rhonda, of course, gets caught at the top of the stairs. Like, he pulls her back and like, I don't know. We don't know what happened. We don't know what happened to Rhonda, but they run and into the portal and they leave Mr. Crocket at the top of the stairs. They wake up. I don't know if this is hell or what, but they wake up in Mr. Crockett's world, and he come out from behind this monster. You know, the guy is running away, and then he sits her in the chair, the same little monster chair that he had the other man sitting in from earlier. And then he starts to show. The kids come out. They're all in a trance. Their eyes are like snowy, like a TV. He pulls out a book and reads the story of Mr. Crocket. His father was abusive, so he killed his father. And that's when he knew it was his calling to protect kids from you know, bad parents. He goes on to tell a story about saving Anthony, the guy she's with, because I knew it was him. Cause we see him killing the police, you know, when they come to arrest him for kidnapping Anthony, and they come in shooting, and before he dies, he made a deal with the devil. sending bad parents to hell in exchange for, this little world that they live in. He can be in that little world by himself. If only he can just get the parent, kill these evil parents, and send their souls to hell. When Summer tells Eddie, that's the guy's, well, that's what he said his name was. His name Anthony. When she gets his attention and she's like, come out and save the kids, he steps out talking about he was the first person to love me. He wanted to stay with Mr. Crocket forever. Like he said, I've been trying to get here for the past for years. Since he was 9, he's been trying to get to Mr. Crocket's world. Thank you so much. Now he's finally here. He pulled out a gun like he finna shoot her, talking about he can't let her destroy his home. Starts screaming at her. Well, she starts screaming at her son, trying to get her son to wake up so at least she can grab him out from out of there. Mr. Crocket is confused, like, Anthony, come over here. Anthony reaches out for a hug, Mr. Crocket. Mr. Crocket's like, you were a child. Now you're some bitter old insane man who has nothing to do with his life. I said, oh, ooh. Okay, so he ain't got nothing for you because you grown, and so why you acting like this? That's what he's not here for evil adults, and that's what you've become. So yeah, now you a problem. He said you don't belong here. They all start chanting, you don't belong here, you don't belong here. Then the monster gets up and just takes Anthony out. Sorry, Anthony, that's what your ass get. Tears him to pieces. Summer, now she left alone with crazy ass Crocket. He says, he's fair. I'm fair. So I'm going to give you a chance to get your son back. He makes Major decide. And Summer apologizes. She begs him to trust her. She begs, And he walks up to her. His eyes start coming back. Mr. Crocket, he stands off to the side. Tearfully happy, but not really. In the end, Major decides he wants to stay with him. I said, what? After she quit being his mother, he called him. He asked him, who you want to be your parent, and Major makes his choice. His eyes go straight back to TV Snow, and he joins Mr. Crocket and the rest of the kids. Mr. Crocket pulls out his pen, because they're gonna play hide and seek. Whoever lands the death blow gets an endless bowl of ice cream. So they start the game, and now she in the dark got to run around running from these demon kids and all his little puppet characters that are also possessed. They have her cornered, and he tries convincing Major to kill his mother, just the same way he did his father. Summer pulls out that whistle. She tries to blow it like she using all the Hail Marys. She blows it a few times. Major gives Crocket a hug, and as he's about to stab his mother, he drops the knife, and then he has the magic pen instead. All the kids, all the trance drops from all the kids. They all go stand behind Summer. Mr. Crocket, he starts spazzing again, cussing everybody out. Listen, that demon is mad. Summer, she slices him in half with that magic pen, and then opens up a portal, and he gonna try to crawl his way through it still, talking about wherever. Bye, Mr. Crocket. Rhonda, she survived. So she reunites with her son. That's a happy moment. Major, he's happy and thriving now. He and his mama, they're in a good place. He's in his room drawing, and we see a teacher drops by. She also feels like the safety and the staff is now at risk. She starts showing pictures of people with bruises allegedly from Major. The teacher, she's trying to get to the root of it. Like, could it be your new relationship? Are you in a new relationship? And Summer's like, new relationship? Child, Major in there drawing, as we speak, drawing his family. And he done drew Mr. Crocket and labeled him dad. I said, not dad. So he's still... And he also still has that magic marker. So it's going to be a Mr. Crocket too. I hope so. Come on back next Halloween for a Mr. Crocket too. Anyway. It was good, y'all. It was good. I liked this. I liked the plot of it all. The fact that he was you know, avenging the kids. You know, they had bad, abusive, evil parents, and he just say, y'all don't deserve them no way. But see, you fucked around and went to the wrong house, Mr. Crockett, because them folks was loving over there in her house. Anyway, that's where we in. I think I gotta do Potomac. I done forgot what I did. I know I did Fight Night. I know I done did Grotesquerie. Yeah, I think I'm. Let me move on. I got one more review to do. Anyway, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.